Welcome back, everyone. Well, we're just about 3 weeks now into the new year. Many people use the new year for a fresh start to achieving a more healthy lifestyle. And as we know, staying active and building healthy habits, very important for everyone, especially the children out there. Dr. Dominic Lucia, the Chief Medical Officer at McLane Children's Hospital, joins us this evening to discuss what parents and kids should know. Doctor, thank you for being here. First of all, what are some negative health consequences that young children can get from an inactive lifestyle?
It's such a problem in our society, Chris, and something we should really all be paying attention to. But those downstream effects of that sedentary lifestyle primarily include obesity. And unfortunately, with obesity often comes hypertension, diabetes, chronic inflammation. And then when you talk about the mind-body connection that we all have, that can lead to other things mental health-wise, including anxiety and even depression.
Well, we don't want any of that, but let's talk more about the comorbidities that come with this lifestyle and how kids who aren't active can then end up with multiple conditions, because this is kind of like a marathon, right? Bad habits over time equal bad results.
Right. You just rarely get just one when it comes to these bad things that happen because of sedentary lifestyle. So you combine the processed foods, the bags, the boxes, the chips, the sweets, and then you combine it with the sedentary lifestyle that a lot of our youth are experiencing, and you get one problem. But unfortunately, those comorbidities lead to others, so they start stacking on themselves. And we talked about some of those earlier with diabetes, with hypertension, and really you can find yourself quite ill into your teenage years before your life has really gotten started as an adult.
Right. Now, we don't want to bring up a problem without offering a solution. My parents told me, get outside, don't come back in until the street lights are on. It was a different time. What should parents do now? Because they're competing with so much more for their kids' attention. How can we encourage our kids to be more physically active and then lead a healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, absolutely. As a father myself, it is not complicated, but it's also not easy. These screens are extremely attractive, so I think it really starts there. We have to set extremely firm boundaries on screen time. There is always something to look at and watch and listen to, and oftentimes with that, you're just sitting. So set some firm boundaries on screen time, and then talk about just starting somewhere as far as activity goes. Get up, go for a walk, even if it's 3 to 5 minutes. You got to start somewhere, and you've got to be consistent. The other part of this is do it as a family, right? They're going to engage much more rather than you just telling them go do this. Say, hey, get your shoes. We're going to go as a walk as a family. You have more time than you think to do these things. And then finally, once you start that, start to look forward to something, maybe an organized event, something like the Baylor Scott and White 5K Family Fun Run that's going to happen in March, something that you can look forward to as a family, and that really starts to change the look of your family.
I love your attitude there. Lead by example, and that's a great way to raise those kids. Okay, now as parents, we know routine checkups really can detect any issues, but how else can medical providers help families achieve these healthy goals? You guys are always looking at stuff.
That's right. I mean, they're going to have data on your kids. They're going to be able to help you out with weight percentiles, tell you the risk factors that your kids are headed towards, if they indeed are. So use the providers as really accountability partner. They're someone you should have a regular cadence meeting with, certainly on the well child checks. So use them as a partner. Don't go into that visit and try to avoid talking about these things. Open it all up. Let's be honest. Let's look at what things we're at risk for, what things we can do about it. And then if they do need referrals, specialists, endocrinologists, mental health providers, they can also be a resource too.
Absolutely. And start early. I love it. You're talking about, being an example to the kids, but get kids thinking about their health at a young age and living an active lifestyle. I think they'll appreciate it. As always, Dr. Dominic Lucia, thank you so much for being here. A big help to our parents and our kids. We really appreciate you.